Hey everybody, welcome back to HitPoint, a JRPG news show, an anime news show, a niche news show, where basically Baku and I get to sit around and talk about all the cool, crazy stuff that drives us wild.
Yeah, we get to sit around.
Happy Sunday, everybody. I hope that you are all having a great week. Okay, yeah, you cut to the crux of it. We're just kind of sitting here talking, but you know what? This is HitPoint, a JRPG news. Oh gosh, you threw me off my shtick here, man. Okay, we stream every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern time. We'll answer some questions and comments from the chat, and we'll talk about rumors, preview some trailers, and we'll respond to super chats at the end of the show.
Yes.
All right. I think I covered everything.
All the super chats.
You derailed me a little bit there, but I think we got back on track. All right, guys.
We sure did.
So, hey, happy Sunday. How you doing, Baku? How have you been?
I was super sick yesterday because of the flu and COVID shots that I took on Friday. And then well, I was sick. I'm not really sick, but my body is like, oh no, you're getting hit by 2 sets of viruses. Ah!
I know.
And so my body acted like I was dying when I was not. I slept for 18 hours. I slept for 18 hours. I think I had dinner at like 6 o'clock, and then I passed out until like the next day at like 1. I woke up. So it's like about 18 hours. Yeah, it was bad.
Wow. Have you got back on your sleep schedule since? Well, I guess who knows yet, right?
I wouldn't know. That was yesterday.
Because you just woke up at like 6 hours ago, basically.
Yeah, basically. But I'm feeling like perfectly fine. Like absolutely nothing happened. Like today's a regular day. I just completely wasted my Saturday.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm glad that you're feeling better, but how's your computer feeling?
I think it's finally fixed. I don't know. Like the other day I still found issues with it, but then I updated the graphics driver and now apparently it's okay. So
okay,
I just don't know.
That's the third thing that we think that you have told me that you think solved it, because before that you're like, oh, turns out I was still undervolting my GPU as well as another thing. So that's like several pieces of things that are just coming together to be like screwing with your computer over the last couple of weeks.
This is definitely not like a one issue situation.
Your computer was like a house of cards. It's just a slight breeze could have toppled it over, and apparently did a couple of times, huh?
Yeah, apparently, but thankfully now it's working. Before I just turned on OPS and it just like OBS just like syncs it, and now I'm like, what's going on? And then I open YouTube and then it crashes again. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. But it's like the graphics card kind of like crashed, not like a blue screen crash. So I'm just like, okay, is the graphics something? I don't know. Maybe it's fixed. Maybe it's not. We'll see.
Well, knock on wood. Well, I hope that this is for realsies the end of your troubles with your computer, because
fingers crossed.
What a saga.
Until I build a new one, that is. Yeah. Until I build a new one, that is. How about you, Mr. Derek? What'd you do this weekend?
Oh, not much. Okay, well, so there's a few things that I did since last week that I made sure to note down that I could talk about, because I've actually been pretty busy. So on Wednesday, we wrapped up the Trails from Zero giveaway, where I concluded with my experience points video talking about the Trails from Zero Switch port, in which I ate my words and said finally that, yeah, okay, NISA, you done good. Especially with, was it Durant or Durante? I'm not sure how to pronounce the guy's name, but the person that they put on in charge of like working on the port for PC and Nintendo Switch, just basically making it as incredible as possible as of an experience. So anyways, they did a great job. So I ate my words, because in my initial review I said it doesn't matter if you get it now or if you just play the unofficial port, because there's no way that whatever official port would ever come out could ever be as good as this. Well, I take it back.
Right?
Yeah.
That's
I take it back. So they did a fantastic job. Anyways, so the Switch release is going to none other than Yellow Streetlight, which is awesome. I believe they may have been in chat at some point here, which is awesome. I'm actually putting together a couple of other things to throw in just to sweeten the deal. Put it together a little care package, maybe some T-shirts and stuff. So that'll be a lot of fun to send out. Aside from that, I today finished my review of Chrono Cross, and that is coming out for everybody on YouTube. It's coming out on the 4th of November, but for supporters of the show, it's currently available in early access. I'm going to be sending it out into the various other locations, but supporters in the Discord have access to watch it right now, which is exciting, I think. Beyond that, I'm also working with Switch Wicked on a new limited edition SuperDerek Hoodie by popular request. This is going to be made to order for a very short duration of time.
Made to order?
Yeah, so we're not even doing like a run of 50. We're basically going to say if you order it within like these like few days, you're going to get it, but we're going to have to like order the stuff to make them, and then we'll send them out. So a little longer of a lead time than before, but it's going to be really awesome, I think.
Pre-orders.
Yes. And then last week I didn't end up streaming Golden Sun as much as I would like to. So because I actually took off Friday so I could continue working on Chrono Cross review. So normal streams will resume on Monday. And also I fixed my website, which apparently died the other day. I know, it's a lot of stuff I've been working on.
Does someone notify you like, hey, your website's down?
Actually,
like, how did you?
No, nobody told me. Well, somebody told me eventually. I just went onto my website at one point and it's just like, that's just a white page. That's not working. I contacted Bluehost support and they're like, oh, it might be like a SSL issue or something. So try again in 4 hours. We're gonna try something here. I tried it in 4 hours. Nothing happened. It was the same old thing. So I tried uninstalling and reinstalling WordPress, and that didn't work. So I called them up and I was just like, all right, just set it back to defaults. Just reset my server, please, so I can at least put a website back in. So anyways, I spent a portion of my week last week rebuilding SuperDerekRPGs.com.
Oh, geez.
From the ground up. Yeah. So that was a little bit of fun, but I think it's coming out pretty well, actually, all things considered. So yeah, that's been my week, just not really.
That was your chance to make enhancements,
Yeah, except I was busy scrambling just to put something there. Cause I was trying to when I put out my review or my unboxing video, I try to make out a link to my ethics page on my website where I like tell people like what the various hashtags mean when I'm sponsored versus getting a review unit versus a product showcase, and like what does that all mean, right? So I try to have a page where I kind of break that down and kind of let people know what to expect, when I'm being sponsored. And anyways, when I tried to check and get the address for that, that's what didn't load before. I was like, oh crap, I need to have a page there that elucidates on that kind of thing. So anyways, that's all. It's all said and done, and it's working now, and it's actually, I think, a little better than before, if I'm being honest. So yeah,
it's probably a lot better.
Yeah, it's
head on over to the Derek page. What's the URL?
SuperDerekRPGs.com, man.
Head on over there after the show.
Yeah,
not right now. We still have a show to do.
All right. So enough about me, Baku, and enough about you too. No, just kidding.
Wait a minute. Hold on. This is one more thing.
Okay. Yeah, what else have you been up to?
I didn't want to bring up that I am still streaming. Yes, hi people. I do stream on Twitch. Yes, I know. I deny streaming on Twitch, but right here on YouTube, I will tell you that I stream on Twitch. Both Derek and I stream on Twitch. Did you know that?
It's true.
I'll links it down in the description below. Spooktober is still continuing. So if you guys want to watch some horror games from Japan, right now I'm playing a game called Ghostwire Tokyo, and it's actually really good. Yes,
tell me about it so far. Is it an RPG or is it just like a horror game, or like it looks like an RPG-ish?
Okay, so it plays a lot like Skyrim, in a sense that you're first person view and you're seeing your hand movements in front of you, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So it's like Skyrim in that sense, and it is from Bethesda too.
Do you
so
get to loot
there's that.
bodies and loot stuff and
No,
equip stuff?
no looting bodies, but you can steal food off the streets from like, what is it called? Convenience store baggies. Like it's weird. Yeah. So the premise of the story is that you're in Tokyo, Shibuya to be exact.
Okay.
And one day just like this fog swoops in and everybody just disappears, just like vanished. Their clothes are still there, and then just the physical body just gone, just disappeared. Right. So as you're traversing through like the aftermath, like the chaos, you get cars just ramming into random places
Mhm.
because like the body just suddenly disappeared, right?
Yeah.
And then you just find like clothes and cell phones and just things just on the ground where there would have been a person. So it's kind of crazy. The city is very well built. It is the most well well, not well rendered, but well reconstructed Tokyo I've ever seen.
Really?
Like there's some games that done a really good job, like what is it?
Yakuza?
Yakuza's done a fantastic job, and probably one of the best. But this one just really takes the cake. Like I go in there and I'm like, you know what? Despite all these like random like like scene of apocalypse, like when you talk about the buildings and the layouts and everything,
Yeah.
it is the most well made city that I've ever seen in any game.
Hmm.
In terms of like accuracy to like the real thing. They
That's
changed the
super
names to a
cool.
lot of things, but man, the layout, it's basically just like it's like you just went to Japan.
That's awesome. Okay,
Minus
well,
all the people.
you're selling it to me actually, because that's the closest I'll probably ever get to making it over there. But it sounds
Well,
interesting.
yeah, no, it's a super cool game. Yeah. So the Spirittober continues. What about you, Derek? What are you gonna do over on Twitch?
We're just gonna be resuming Golden Sun: The Lost Age. I think I'm nearing like the 80% mark. I feel like things are really coming to a head. So I think before long, it's going to be time for me to start making my Golden Sun: The Lost Age review.
Hmm.
And then, dare I say, embarking upon my time with Trails Cold Steel.
You wait, hold on, time. Are you gonna do
Yeah.
Cold Steel? You're not gonna wait for Azure. You're gonna do Cold Steel?
I've already reviewed Azure.
Oh, wait, sorry, you already done Azure.
Yeah.
Never mind. I
Yeah.
thought you were gonna wait until the new version to do it.
Is there a new Cold Steel version coming
Oh
out?
no, not a new version of Cold Steel. I mean the official Azure release. I thought you were gonna do something with that.
I mean, I will. I'm sure at some point, maybe another experience points. But I've already like played the game using the Geofront patch like last year, and
Mhm.
like right around the time that NISA announced that they would be doing the games actually in coordination with Geofront. That was about the same time as my Azure review. So so yeah, I'm ready to dive into Cold Steel, and I think that we're going to here probably pretty soon. I'm feeling it,
Well,
especially with the
Cold Steel.
timeline, especially with
Mhm.
the timeline that we'll talk about here coming up here pretty soon. I feel like it could be,
Hmm.
yeah, it could be about that time.
Speaking of your timeline, let's read some comments from the last
Hey,
podcast, shall
yeah,
we?
yeah, that sounds like a pretty good one. Sure.
So we've got one here from Daytona Blue who said, the turn-based combat I think Derek would like, off the description he gave, is like a dragon. Like Yakuza like a dragon. You have to input certain button press for attacking and defending with combos for mana and special attacks.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Yakuza like a dragon. That the game that Derek keeps running away from. Talking about starting Cold Steel and stuff. Just nice, but I think
I mean, yeah,
just,
I like
we're
to tackle
just
games in
still
order. Are you? I mean,
waiting for.
I'm so torn because I do really want to see the whole story of Yakuza,
Mhm.
right? but I
You're
would kind of
not
like
gonna play 8 games before going to Like a Dragon. You're not. There's no way you're gonna play 8 games just so you get to Like a Dragon. No
How
way.
long are they? How long could they possibly? They're like 10-hour games,
They're
right?
no, they're not 10-hour games. Listen, even if they're 10-hour games, that's 80 hours. You're not. No, you're not. You know what? But you know what's the nice thing about Like a Dragon, though? Honestly, if you just play Like a Dragon, it's self-contained. You don't miss anything. And in fact, there.
Except I know that what's the guy's name? The main character of the first set, Kiryu. He's a cool dude. I know he's a Bamf, right?
Yeah,
I know that. I know that.
He is.
And I mean the new guy with the weird hair.
Oh, Ichiban.
Yeah, the beer guy. Ichiban.
Yeah.
That's how I remember it. Good old Sapporo. Yeah. I mean good old Kirin Ichiban.
Yes.
He seems like an interesting guy, but Kiryu seems way cooler. He's got that old school, like almost like Kazuya from Tekken look to him, you know?
Yeah.
There's probably like some like I guess stereotypical like
different
Yakuza
personality.
look. Yeah, I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
But yeah. There's so much cool Yakuza stuff on the horizon as well. But you know, I feel like you've got that down pat. Like I think you're ready. I think you're poised. You've played Like a Dragon, right?
I have, and it was good. And I keep telling you that right? you're gonna like it. Yeah, I played through 0-2.
Yeah.
I think Like a Dragon.
I think we just needed to divide and conquer. You know, that's the only thing that makes sense at this point, Baku. You're our Yakuza informant.
Here's the problem. People are looking for a Like a Dragon experience points, and I'm not going to make that. You know?
Yeah.
So, you know, we still need the great Derek to play at least one of these games. Right. We're not saying play 0 through 6 and then play this. No, just play that one. In fact, the RGG even said the studio even said that they're going to come up with like a special little thing that you know, talks about what Kiryu's been up to before and after Like a Dragon, so you don't have to like feel like you missed out. So you don't even have to play 0 through 6.
Well, here's the thing. So I'm finishing up my playthrough of the Chrono series, in which I played and reviewed Chrono Trigger. I played and reviewed Radical Dreamers, and now Chrono Cross, right? That was a series that I wanted to do in succession. Now Golden Sun, that's a twofer, a series that I'm doing in succession. I'm finally like clearing that plate off, and so what I do right now is I play games, I alternate my way through them. So my plan is to alternate my way through Cold Steel. So that means after Cold Steel 1, Like a Dragon is a very distinct possibility.
You know what you guys should do is continue to shame Derek on Twitter.
I should get a PS5 so I can play it in like all of its glory, you know, with all of its PS4
I think you
Pro
should.
enhancements.
I think you should.
So if you could send me a PlayStation 5, Baku, just
I think you should write to Sony and be like, hey, I'm an influencer. I need hello, Sony.
No. If I can't even keep a straight face when you say that.
It's worth a try. What's the worst they can do? Say no? I mean, come on.
I think there's worse things that they could say. They could say like, no, you're actually not an influencer.
Just stop at no. Look, the fact that they even would respond to you should be like, oh, they wrote back to me.
It just proves how big of a deal I am.
Exactly.
They would never ghost me.
If I wasn't a big deal, they wouldn't have responded.
Anyway, I think we got some more there's some more chats or messages to respond through, huh?
We do. Well, not respond to, but we do have another one. This one's from Cody Burton, who says, I absolutely adore the Breath of Fire games. I think developers have noticed the loyal fan base these games keep for years. I hope Capcom sees that this series had limitless potential. give it a decent budget with beautiful sprites, music by Yoshino Aoki and Akari Kaida in Breath of
Oh.
Fire 3.
Mhm.
Amazing story and battle system like Breath of Fire 4, and you would win back their fans and keep us around a long time.
Oh,
Thank you, Cody.
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. I've got strong thoughts on what should go into a new Breath of Fire game. I made a video talking about, if Konami or Capcom revives the franchise, that's like, here's some things I would like them to do. Sure, maybe like a port of the first 4 games or like a collection would be really nice, but honestly, like if they want to tread some new ground, I'd like to see them do so by paying homage to all the greatest parts of their history first.
That would be a good way to like do what is it called? A reboot.
Yeah, to either reboot or honestly even to like get their development team reacquainted with what makes a great Breath of Fire game,
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna have to be a reboot at this point, but
oh yeah, I mean, there was
yeah.
the Breath of Fire games are like the Zelda games though. You don't really have to ever reboot them. There's not like a solid timeline. Like you can
That's
maybe
fair.
infer one, but
Yeah.
like it's not really set in stone.
It's basically Zelda.
It basically is. It's Zelda, but the protagonist is a dragon and his friends are animal kin.
Yes.
So we also got a multitude of people responding and talking about the Bayonetta 3 discussion that we had last week. Baku and I both decided before the show that we're not really going to talk any further on the subject matter until either side puts forth some solid evidence, screenshots, communications or something of the sort.
Anything.
I think a lot of people who hopped on the bandwagon immediately after the initial claim was made are now coming to understand the importance of being able to say, we don't have enough information. And I think that's where we are going to leave that for now.
Yeah, absolutely. We absolutely stand by the ability to say we just don't know enough. And we're okay with not making a judgment on something when we don't have enough information. So that's where we're gonna end it. Hopefully, actually, from my perspective, hopefully, nothing else comes from this because it's just been nothing but hurts. For me. But hey, listen, if they don't want to shut up, then they need to put up, and that's putting up with evidence. Otherwise. Yeah,
right.
no, I think the good old put up or shut up still stands.
Yeah, definitely agree. And then you had one more that you wanted to read here in regards to.
Oh yeah, regarding voicemails, Ryan Time says some dude in your area is getting voice messages about JRPGs and he doesn't know why. That is true. I saw that and I'm like, man, add that in right before we talk about voicemails. So yeah, about that voicemail number, Derek, tell us about that voicemail.
Well, if you have a voicemail that you would like to leave us, you may do so at 785-337-3805. I've verified the number and made sure that it works. By the way, we did get a voicemail. It was 2 seconds long and didn't have any message attached. So, yeah, I was told by the people in the chat that somebody would be leaving us a voicemail. And I just didn't get any. So I don't know if you guys have tried to leave a voicemail since last week, try again or let me know if you're having issues with that. But yeah, otherwise we have no real voicemail to play this week.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Someone left us a 2 seconds long.
All right. So we have new games that are coming out this week, and I'm going to kick us off with this one. It is from Square Enix. They just shadow dropped Neo, The World Ends With You on Steam just 4 days ago. So this is a game that already actually came out this week, but the game was previously an Epic Store exclusive on PC, which probably contributed to some of its subpar sales and underperformance in general. So go get it on Steam and celebrating its release to, actual gamers.
Actual PC gamers, yes.
You can now get it for 25% off until the 26th. So you have just a couple more days in order to add it to your collection on the cheap.
I always felt like Epic Games Store is like the Xbox that, when it comes to like RPGs or games like that. It's like there's a certain demographic that would use Epic Games, and it is not the RPG crowd.
No.
Like that's where Steam is at.
Yeah.
So to make it an Epic Games exclusive, I'm just like, what the heck were you thinking?
Confusing.
Very confusing decision. Like, they better pay you good for this exclusivity, because why?
If I wanted to play, like, if I don't even know what Valorant is, I'd assume it's on Epic Game Store. If I wanted to play Fortnite, I'd probably get it on the Epic Games Store. And I heard that sometimes they put stuff on there for free in order to entice people over with, it's like enticing a little candy over, a little child over to your van with candy or something. That's what they're doing. They're giving away some free candy from their van.
Yeah, it's not worth it for like the low sales. I mean, and also Square Enix absolutely shadow dropped this. Otherwise, we would have talked about the release before. But no, it just came out of no one saw this one coming. They just like, Steam surprise, it's here now. It's like, what?
Yep.
So, which points to more like odd, like dysfunctional release from Square Enix. We talked about that, right? Like this recent round of releases, starting from I think around September to like now, has been just chaotic.
Oh yeah, it's been completely bonkers. They're just releasing all kinds of stuff. I mean, honestly, even if they had announced that this would be coming to Steam, it would have just been one of those things. It'd just be one more, thing to add to the pile that they're cranking out. So, good for us,
what is happening.
Good for us RPG fans. That's what I say.
Yeah, good for us RPG fans, but also like, what a confusing time. Yeah. Also, by the way, Neo the World Ends With You, a pretty good game. Didn't care for the story too much, but the battle system was really fun. So if you guys like, real-time battle with like good soundtrack, like this is it. This one's a good one.
Is it kind of like Kingdom Hearts? In that way, in that sense, like don't think about it too hard. Enjoy the gameplay and turn the old brain off.
Probably, just don't worry about the story. It makes no sense whatsoever. People are like, oh no, it makes perfect. It makes no sense.
Yeah, some people will contort themselves mentally in order to like make things make sense sometimes, and sometimes it just does not pay off.
Yeah, absolutely. But I will say that I had a lot of fun playing it. Just didn't care for the story. Okay. What else we got, Mr. Derek?
Following Neo the World Ends With You. Let's see.
Oh shoot, this is me. Anyways, hi.
I was like, do you want me to move on? Okay.
No, I got this. I got this one.
Okay.
After months of doing this, you would think that I get the hang of it. The next game that we want to talk about is a game called Valkyrie of Phantasm, a new high-speed aerial combat game based on a Toho project. It is in its early access starting today on Steam. So be sure to pick that up if you're a Toho fan or you just missed those aerial combat games from the 90s. I did talk about it when we first talked about it too, that back in the 90s in the arcade, at least in Asia, I don't remember seeing a lot of those here, but like in Asia,
we had a bunch.
There were. Oh, did we?
Oh yeah, we had like Gradius and Galaga and so there was a lot more than that, but like I know the huge like Iguruga and stuff is like huge in Japan, and but we have our fair share of like bullet hells and stuff.
Yeah, but those are bullet hell games.
Is this not so much of a bullet hell?
No, so like the aerial combat games, at least in the 90s, like it's usually played in like a 3D plane.
Oh, this one that you're talking about. Okay, this is more like I think we talked about it a couple weeks ago. It reminded me of Dragon Ball Xenoverse.
Yes, like that. Yeah. So, and it was super popular in the arcades in the 90s. But then like it's sort of like receded and now it's kind of coming back, except it's on Steam. So you play it on your computer, you play it at home, which is kind of cool. So I feel like this genre might be trying to make a comeback. I don't know. We'll see. Because I had a lot of fun playing it growing up. So when I saw that, I'm like, ooh, this is nice. So yeah, so aerial, I don't know what else to call it other than like an aerial combat kind of game.
It's a little bit weird. I don't know what I would call that either.
Yeah, I just thinking about it as I was typing, the docket, and I was like, I don't know, I'm just gonna call it aerial combat.
Yeah, I guess from the like at first, it just sounded like you were talking about a shmup or something, but like anyways, yeah, I get what you're saying now.
Yeah. I mean, the typical regular Toho game would be a shoot 'em up, Damatsu, like bullet hell, but this one's different. So now, according to Playism, the publisher, they have announced that that more characters and more modes, like the 2 vs 2 mode, will be coming in the future. And this coming from Playism, there's a very high chance that that's going to be the case, because they're not this is not their first time in the rodeo. Like they have successfully brought a lot of otherwise unknown games from Japan, like little unknown games that no publishers will pick up. And they've done a very good job. So I think that this is going to be another good one from Playism.
All right. So next up, we're getting a Switch port for Needy Streamer Overload.
Yes.
It'll be released on the 27th of this month digitally. There is a physical version that is also going to be released on that day, but it's more of like an international version that has Japanese with a full English option, and you can order that through PlayAsia or Amazon Japan. So
I just ordered it today.
So what is Needy Streamer Overload, by the way?
Needy Streamer Overload is a it's an odd little game that has you play as this girl who transforms herself into this like super like
we talked about this
outgoing
before.
Streamer, and your job is to be basically her behind the scene boyfriend and also content manager, if you will. You have to basically schedule her days and whatnot, and your goal is to get her to 1 million sub, I think.
Wow.
Within 60 days.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, I know. A tall order, right? Yeah. But the game actually has like this pastel aesthetics, and it's got this 2D sort of slightly pixelated graphics that looks a lot like what's that one game that has you working at about Valhalla? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Valhalla, the game where you like work as a bartender, you talk to people, and like post-apocalyptic. Yeah, it kind of has that kind of feel, graphics to it.
Okay.
But it actually delves into a lot about like the modern like psychology of how people interact with the internet. Like what is it called? Like
the parasocial relationship.
Yeah, that sort of things, and also like our dependency on validations and drug use and other mental like issues that people face today with the introduction of the widely use of the internet, of course. So it cuts pretty deep, especially for people like us who are content creators. So
interesting.
I would highly recommend it. It's got, I think it's sold like 500K for a small little indie. That's like
that's
pretty good.
Lot.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Okay. So anyways, the port is going to arrive fully loaded with all new content for the game. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. All right. Next, we've got a little game called Yomawari Lost in the Dark. It is the third installment for the Yomawari series, and that will be released on October 25th. The player will play as a young girl who has until dawn to remember all the important things she has forgotten in order to break the powerful curse that's been placed on her. So we do have a little trailer on that, just so we can sort of remember what this game is like. Also, I get to make Derek watch another horror game trailer. So
all right, let's do this.
Let's do it.
I'll muster my strength here. Nope, it's too spooky. There's no music. It's just too ambient. Ah!
It's still like what is it? Just like this cute character model with like
it's
random
like
jump
a
scares.
Yeah, crazy cute, really dark, really creepy. I remember watching you play the original Yomawari on your stream a couple years ago, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
I think so. And yeah, is beautiful and very creepy.
Just getting chased down by these freaking monsters.
Yep, getting murdered by demons.
It's getting randomly murdered by yokai. Yeah, a lot of things about this game is kind of symbolic, and like I kind of like it that like the main character doesn't necessarily walk away from this unscathed. Like this is not like a happily ever after kind of game. You do have to expect some level of lost.
Yeah.
So and so far the 2 games that I've played.
Yeah, because like if you were actually in this sort of scenario, I would be like emotionally scarred forever. You know, so
yeah. So don't let the look deceive you. This game is cute, but the story is anything but. The gameplay is great, by the way. I played 2 games, and I'm looking forward to playing this 3rd one.
Oh man, that's cool.
Yeah.
We've got another game. Did you want to wrap up with this? I think.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So this game will be available on PS4, the Switch, and PC via Steam. So keep an eye out for it.
Awesome. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh no, you're good.
All right, because I was excited to talk about this other one that's coming.
I'm excited to hear you talk about it.
7th. Are you? Because I'm excited to talk about it.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. The newest entry in the Star Ocean series, Star Ocean: The Divine Force, will be released on the 27th of this month as well. It is developed by none other than Tri-Ace, with music from Motoi Sakuraba. And they've shown us a new little release trailer that we can look at. You want to take a look at this release trailer?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
I saved these release trailer for when we talk about the release, so we can go back and watch it.
Any further violence will serve no purpose.
Man,
Please surrender.
I've seen so much like positive buzz about this game with the demo, and I'm really hoping that this helps Tri-Ace get to where they need to be.
She's from the Astoria, the one that destroyed my ship.
Would you mind telling us whence you hail?
I'm from another world, one that's far, far away in the sky, and I was forced to flee here.
The kingdom of Osirius.
So yeah, there's that mix of medieval and sci-fi fantasy.
Your efforts on that front will be in vain.
I am not one to slink away in fear while my allies are in peril.
They command all manner of monstrous
I want.
Empire's armaments have undergone a drastic change.
What?
God, I have so many games I need to play.
I know.
I'm like looking at this, I'm like, there's so many games I need to play.
I know. Oh shoot.
I'm feeling the pressure.
Should I play this instead? Instead of Trails in the Cold Steel? I don't
Play this instead of Trails of Cold Steel? Oh yeah, go for it.
I hope to have you.
What? How long could this possibly be? 10, 15 hours?
Yeah, 10 hours. You can finish this in 10 hours, I'm sure. If you try hard enough, you can finish it. I'm not sure you enjoy it though, but you know.
Every aspect of life here is like another world. No, another dimension.
Some of those outfits look a little funny. There's like that lady who looks like she's wearing a dress, but then the back is just cut off of it. Okay.
nigh impossible to discern friend from
It's a
foe.
little goofy, but
I swear to you that all I
Oh, that
say
looks
here is
cool.
absolutely true, including the fact that I came here to help.
What is this bull?
We have no sufficient.
I still hate his hair. Oh my god.
he looks like he
He could
belongs
have
in
had
an 80s
any
band.
other haircut.
Yeah, he looks like he belongs in an 80s hair band.
Though I'm sure you'll reject
And I kind of dig that,
Like
actually.
glam
You
rock?
should take
Yeah.
leave of Leticia and the others.
Mm.
I mean,
Still
sure,
hate
it's
his hair.
maybe not your...
Still.
It might not be your aesthetic, but I think it looks all right.
It's definitely not my aesthetics, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, what would you have given him? A crew cut?
Maybe not that either. Something wild, but not quite like this.
Something not quite like halfway to Super Saiyan 3?
Yeah. I'd rather him have like Guile hair than this.
It does look a little shaggy. How about a faux hawk?
Oh jeez.
Yeah, if he just had like a little, a little...
I'm sorry, you're right. It could have been worse.
What is wrong with you? You would truly condemn Her Highness, Letty, to death?
It feels like there should be sound effects there, but they do that in a lot of Japanese trailers, I find.
Yeah.
Kind of bugs me a little bit.
History has proven that the law must be broken at times to move worlds forward.
I mean, they got hired to do the intro song, so that's where the budget went, I'm sure.
I ventured beyond the point of no return. Nothing more.
If people complain about this being low budget, now they know where the money went.
I mean, this does not look low budget.
Oh, some people have complained about it. Well, but then again, people complain about like every freaking game I've ever seen.
Yeah.
If it's not Final Fantasy 16 like level graphics, it's low budget. I'm just like, yeah, no.
Okay. It's like there's a difference between like low budget and like this is just normal budget. Final
This is
Fantasy
normal budget.
15 is like extreme budget. Like
Right?
that's why they call that AAA,
Yeah.
To you and your kingdom. Come, rise
It looks good to me. I've said it like every time I've seen this game. I'm like, this
Yeah.
game looks good to me. I really don't know what people are complaining about, but
Yeah, makes you wonder what their basis of comparison is, right? This is a really long launch trailer, but I dig it.
I'm picking the longer trailer. Maybe part of me like I'm really trying to convince folks that this game is worth buying. Because Tri-Ace is not doing hot right now.
Yeah, I mean, the people who own Tri-Ace right now are basically really into the mobile market.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that, with this, the people who own Tri-Ace might understand that fans of this franchise would be better served by them making console games.
They should sell the company to Square Enix and just call it a day.
Yeah, I think we talked about that last
just,
week,
dude,
didn't
just
we?
cut your losses. Just cut your losses. Just sell them off to someone unknowns who can do console games and then just like move on. Just
Yeah, that would be
Anyways.
cool. That would be nice. So the game's going to be released on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, S, and also PC.
Yes,
So
and
make sure you
also
keep your eye
PC.
peeled for that here in just 4 days on the 27th.
That's right. All right. Next, we've got a game that has been oddly controversial, right? And we're talking about Bayonetta 3. It's been 8 years since the last game. Did you know that?
It's been 84 years.
Wait, was it 3 scores and
Yeah.
no, it's been 8 whole years since it was 2014.
It's
the last
bizarre.
game.
The last
Yeah.
game launched on the Wii U.
To
put that in perspective.
To put that into perspective, now the highly anticipated Bayonetta 3 finally makes its debut on October 28th, only for the Switch. Let's take a look at it.
All right. There's some stuff going on in the sky.
Meteor. Sephiroth has been here.
Uh-oh.
Stay back! You have a job to do, soldier.
They killed off Bayonetta? What?
Not an angel or a demon,
Mm-hmm.
but not quite human either. Who are you?
I have no idea what I'm watching because I've
Yep.
not played the first two games.
Me neither.
Why don't you
I believe that the game is
for
a
me?
pretty big departure from the originals, if I'm not mistaken, because, like,
Lesson two,
well, actually,
There's a
I
new
have
playable
no
character,
idea.
that's for sure, but
not just for yourself. I'm sure he'll give you
yeah, this is the new playable character.
Huh.
But I don't know how she's connected to Bayonetta. I do know that you can play as Bayonetta, though.
the Alphaverse and stop Singularity. We might be able to help him.
So it's not like you don't get to play as Bayonetta. Like, oh, this is a new protagonist. End of story.
So,
Trust me. He means a lot to me too.
I literally have bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, the transformation's pretty rad. Being able to basically play as kaiju.
This is like the last, you know what, like, what I'm really afraid of is, like, this is going to be, like, one of the last, if not, like, the last first-person action,
Third
like,
person.
game from Platinum Games they will ever get to play. With the way that Platinum Games is, like, running right now, it's just, like, I have no faith in them coming up with another, like, first-player, like, experience.
Yeah,
That hasn't already been developed, that is.
a bit of a send-off to an era of Platinum
Yeah,
games.
basically. Because this is still like a remnant from like the previous like president. This is not like a new job that they took on.
Yeah.
Despite, you know, yeah, despite coming out now.
Now watch, Jean. I'll never bow to anyone again. Not even myself. Asking me to come along? Then we'd better be off.
I'm just waiting for more Babylon Falls.
For someone else. Oh, that? A simple
Ugh.
boss
Yeah,
Because
that's,
according to Platinum Games,
that's the future of
Platinum
their direction.
Babylon Falls have not deterred them from wanting to make more live service games.
an end all
Let's sigh. We'll see. I don't know.
Well, I guess we just know that next time they'll work on making better graphics.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Graphics was such a problem.
Babylon's Fall is a perfect example of why, you know, being a high budget game does not mean it will be a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, what's this?
Oh no. I think they've taken some inspiration from Nier Automata, making this like,
Oh, tie-in game.
yeah. I don't think it's a tying game. I think it's like a part of the game. Like,
Oh, like a different mode of operation.
yeah, it's like a different mode. Yeah, but like I think they definitely took some inspiration from Nier Automata,
Okay.
which they've also made.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. All right. So that's Bayonetta 3. And that is coming out again on October 28th, which is 5 days from now. You know what else is coming out on October 28th, Mr. Derek?
What's that?
Resident Evil Village Gold Edition. Oh. You knew about that?
No.
You know about that? No? No? Well, let me tell you about
I mean,
it.
if I'm being honest, I thought it was already out.
Okay, so Resident Evil Village is out, but what's coming out this time is called Resident Evil Village Gold Edition. So,
Okay.
what exactly is the Gold Edition, you may ask, and I hear you.
Yeah.
So, in addition to the base game, Gold Edition will also include the Winter's Expansion DLC, which adds the third-person
Yeah.
mode, which lets you play Resident Evil Village more like a traditional Resident Evil,
like a classic mode instead of a first
yeah,
person.
kind of like a classic mode. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it wasn't as easy as just like, well, why don't you just like pan it out, right?
Oh, no,
Like, because
no.
there are a lot of scenes and whatnot that had to be completely redone. The physics had to be, changed throughout the entire game. So I think it's really cool that they did that. I'm kind of a traditionalist. I don't want to play Resident Evil first person.
It just sounds weird, honestly.
Yeah, I couldn't deal. But I mean, some people really like it. I'm not one of them, but it's what it is. They're also going to add something called Mercenaries Additional Orders mode that lets you play as like different Resident Evil character in some kind of a, I think it's kind of like a battle royale sort of setting. I'm actually not all too sure what that was about because that's not something that I really cared about. What I did care about is something called Shadows of Rose expansion, which is a brand new first-person campaign. First player campaign, I should say, single player campaign, on the third person mode, featuring Ethan's daughter Rose, 16 years after the events of Resident Evil Village.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So we do have a trailer for that, so you can take a look at it really quickly.
You bet.
Yes. The Winter's legacy lives on. Oh yeah, that's right. I think Winters is Winters Ethan's last name. It's like Ethan Winter.
Yeah.
Yes. Father's nightmare comes to an end.
I just want to find my daughter.
This is the third person mode.
I'll always be there for you, no matter what.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense that these things would all release around Halloween, huh?
Of course.
You are my precious Rose.
It's either July or Halloween.
So long as we were together.
Summertime. Because summertime is kind of like Halloween for like East Asian countries.
Is it?
Yeah, like China, Korea, Japan.
I was thinking
Taiwan.
that, the whole Halloween period is probably not very international. It's probably
Yeah.
like, it's not even strong for like Australia, which is something that I thought was kind of weird when I made an Australian friend. I'm like, Happy Halloween. It's like, oh yeah, you guys do that? I thought that was just a movies thing. I was like, no, we celebrate Halloween. It's the best holiday.
It's the best holiday. You get candies, people dress up looking silly, we have parties.
Yeah.
Here's the Shadow of Rose expansion. So you play as Rose. Wow, Rose know how to aim.
Try to imagine what he might have said to me.
No matter, your imminent demise is inevitable.
I love you, but I won't let anything happen to Rose.
I've got this.
She's got it.
She's got a disease. I mean, look at that.
She's got something. But yeah, and it's not going to make sense until you play the game, of course. Now,
sure.
Now, of course, there are people who are probably wondering, well, what happens if I already have the base game? What happens if I already have?
Yeah, what happens, Baku?
Village? Yeah, what happens? God. Well, so you notice that I said that it comes with the base game and the Winter's expansion DLC, which means that you could just buy the expansion too. Yeah, see, the Go Edition is like the base game and the like expansion, like in one package.
Mm-hmm.
But if you already have the base game, you could just buy the expansion, which also comes out, believe it or not, on the same day.
Hey, that's a smart way of doing things.
Oh yeah, no, that's the right way to do things.
Bravo, Capcom. Bravo.
Yeah, bravo, Capcom. Never pulled a DQ 11S. Is it 11S? Yeah,
yeah.
DQ 11S. I'll never let that go.
Or Persona 5 Royal. Yeah.
Persona 5 Royal. Yeah,
That whole
that's just ugh.
Yeah.
Anyways, this next one I didn't want to take. I was gonna let Derek, we're gonna do alternate, but yeah, I didn't want to take this one because I gotta owe up to some mistakes here.
Okay.
We're gonna do some new games announcements. So here's the mistake. So The game that I'm about to talk about got announced last month during the NISA showcase, but I overlooked it because I thought it was a visual novel, which I try not to cover unless there's significant game elements involved. It's
or
like
if they're like really popular. Like I think if there was like a new Higurashi or something, we would definitely cover that.
Well, you know, I did cover like a new Nasuverse, like which is the Fate, like what is it, Tsukime, like I'll
things that
cover
make
those,
big waves, we'll definitely cover them. But like if it's some new thing, it's not proven yet.
Yeah, it's like little iffy. But upon revisiting the game, I realized that this is actually more of a mystery game, not unlike a Danganronpa. So I decided to talk about it here. So this game is called Process of Elimination. In this game, the Detective Alliance, which is made of the top detectives in the world, are gathered together to bring an end to a person known as the Quartering Duke, an infamous serial killer who has already claimed more than 100 lives. 14 of such detectives will lend you their unique talents to help you solve the case. Let's take a look at that trailer. So y'all can get a visual on this.
Okay, with a name like the Quartering Duke, I'd assume he chops his people up.
Probably. Yeah.
And if that's the case, I mean, a good old slasher mystery fits in with this season, don't it?
It certainly does. So yeah, there are these 14 detectives.
Yeah.
And each of
them
have
arrive
like...
in coffins. Okay. Definitely
Maybe
taking some
guy.
stylistic liberties here for sure.
So yeah, they all have like unique personalities and unique like skills that you can invoke to help you solve the case.
Okay.
So you're gonna come to like learn like what they all do so that you can like, you know, utilize their skills at the right time to progress.
Sounds interesting.
I wish there's some like gameplay that I can like really show, but
yeah,
there aren't a whole lot of gameplays from the trailer. Hopefully once it comes close to the release time, we have something more than this.
Yeah, hopefully.
It's not bad for a you know, for a teaser trailer, but I would really like to be able to showcase some
gameplay. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't blame you for thinking this is also just a
visual novel.
Yeah, it looks like one.
I thought it was just like a plain visual novel. And maybe I'm like, I'm not doing it.
And maybe it is a visual novel still with just detective elements. I mean, it's hard to say.
Yeah, I mean, there's just like enough gameplay. So like what happened is I read through about it. I saw some screenshots and I'm like, okay, so there are like actual gameplay elements where like you can fail, you could screw up, and you could die. There are like, so you know, there are win and loses conditions. I'm like, okay, that's like the basis of whether or not it's a game. If you have like no lose condition, then I don't know if I can call it a game. But yes, you could definitely mess up and die if you don't do things correctly, or you don't do the correct like deduction, for example, say. So there are bad ends to that. So this game is scheduled for spring 2023 in the West for PS4 and the Switch. The game is actually immediately available in Japan, which is why I was able to see some gameplay. Also why I thought they could have definitely had some gameplay footage in here, but okay. The pre-order of the standard and limited edition are available on the NISA site. So, and you'll be hearing about NISA site a lot today. You'll see why.
Yeah. Cool. So since you handled a couple in a row, I'll talk about a couple of these in a row as well.
Yeah,
and
let's do it.
We'll kick this off with a game that I actually found out when the developer actually pinged me via email and just said, hey, I have this thing that I'm working on. Just thought you might be interested. And so I checked it out, as I often do. Most of the time I don't talk about it, but this time I thought it bared a little bit of hype actually for people who like a very specific style of game. So I sent out a tweet about it for people who might be interested in games that feature bump mechanics, which is a small subset of people. I realize it is definitely a niche within a niche within a niche. And if you are into bump mechanics, get ready. So this came from Grave Robber Foundation. It's a new adventure RPG inspired by Japanese PC classics that bring back the bump battle mechanics in the vein of games like the original Ys series or even Hydlide. You know, for all of you Hydlide fans out there. And actually, that's what brought them to me in the first place, was they saw my Hydlide review. And they're like, hey, if you liked Hydlide, check this out. So players will play as Prince Gerhard the Brave, who embarks on a journey to the neighboring land to investigate the appearance of a magical barrier that surrounds it and his father's disappearance. So let's take a look at the little trailer here for Ringlorn Saga.
Let's do it. Yeah, Daddy went for a pack of smokes and never came back.
So, yeah, as you can see right here. Oh God, Baku.
Sorry. Anytime I hear a game of like,
I thought he came back. I thought he went for milk or something. Okay. Anyways,
Sure.
so as you can see, very 8-bit style inspired. Got that CRT filter applied over top. It's actually looking pretty rad. It's very, very authentic to the period.
yeah,
So if you're into,
it looks like something I would have boot up from like DOS. You
Yeah.
know?
yeah, this looks like it belongs on like the PC-88 or the MSX or, but it's got some other upgrades and things like screen clearing attacks here. That's pretty unique. The art that it includes is honestly pretty competent. It's very easy to overdo the simplicity when you're making an 8-bit inspired game where you just want to make it so 8-bit that it looks low effort. But what a lot of people don't realize is that like with these games, they were struggling to like make them even more impressive at the time. And
Did you see the date just now?
yeah, the date where it switched here, we can
1985.
Yep. That was pretty awesome. I caught that
Yeah.
too my first time watching through that trailer. Yeah.
man.
So yeah, that's pretty much is it in a nutshell. It's just a game like it's made in 1985, but it's coming out here instead on the 7th of November of 2022. And it's coming out on Steam. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled if you're into that sort of throwback. I think I'm gonna probably take a look at it as well around that time.
Yeah, it looks great actually. It really does remind me of games from that era.
I know.
Like,
Believe me, I get a lot of emails of from indie developers, and a lot of things just don't end up on this show. And this one did for a reason. So check it out if you're interested in that sort of thing.
Like-
It's a kind of game that knows exactly what it wants to be, and it looks like it executed that idea to the T.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Record of Agarest War. Okay, here.
What accent is this? What accent is this? What accent is this?
It's
what?
Did you ever see The Princess Bride? It's the priest who says marriage brings us together.
Oh my god.
Anyways, Record of Agarest War is going to be coming out. Access Games announced that this 2007 strategy RPG, Record of Agarest War, is getting a Switch port next year in March.
It's just crazy. It's crazy that they're bringing this game out on a port.
I've been waiting. You have no idea. I've been waiting for this for 15 years, Baku.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I've heard of Agarest War before.
Yeah, for better or for worse. Agarest Wars is like...
Isn't that the kind of slightly infamous for like... Oh God, what is it? Go ahead.
I think it became infamous because like I played the first game and like honestly the first game was pretty good. But then like as the series continues, it just sort of like devolved into like an ultra fan service like situation. Like the first game was actually not bad. Like I actually really enjoyed the first game.
Is this the one that was like a meme because of an excerpt where it's like they had to insert a crystal or something?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Or am I thinking of a different game?
Maybe. So like in this game, you play through a couple of generation of heroes, and like every generation you'll meet some number of like heroine, and you will have to make a baby with them, and that becomes the next generation.
Oh,
it's like it's all so you could like. I don't want. Okay, I can't keep talking about, otherwise it just spoils like the entire game. But
yeah, well,
long short is, in order to defeat this great evil, you need to basically pass this power down through generations in order to like, you know, keep this bloodline going until the crisis is over, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So, I thought it was like, okay, there's some fan service, but the game was very solid in terms of gameplay. It was very solid, the first game. And then the second game just got a tad weirder. And then before you know it, like, I think it's like 3 games in, it's like, okay, I don't think I want to play this anymore.
Okay.
It went down the dark path. But this first game, I think, was still pretty good. So.
Okay, cool. Well, it's good to know that this is not one that you thought was too far down the path. This is one of the first ones in the series. Then it was.
Yo, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, I think this one is solid. If you like strategy RPG, I think this one's a solid entry. In fact, you know,
it'd been nice to see some gameplay of it included in that trailer. I'm kind of surprised I didn't see any.
Yeah, this game came out in 2007. I mean, come on.
I know. I mean, it's a port.
Fine.
Okay, it's not a remaster, I guess. It is a port.
Yeah,
so I mean, we
yeah.
could look up the gameplay if we wanted to.
Yeah. So they haven't said anything about like game enhancements and what have you. So I would imagine that is probably still going to be the same as like the PS3 port.
They probably would have called it a remaster. They probably wouldn't have chosen the word port or something like. They would have given it some sort of extra subtitle if it was something special. I think they know exactly what they're doing here.
If there was even one small enhancement, they would have like flagged it, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, at least we know, like, if you just missed out on it when it was originally released last, back in 2007, now's your chance. Check it out.
Now is your chance to check it out. All right.
Speaking of remakes.
Yeah, speaking of remakes, Capcom recently had a broadcast that gave us more details about the upcoming game, Resident Evil 4, the remake. We've got a new story trailer to take a look at, so let's just jump into that really quick.
All right.
This one's gonna be a good one.
You're just trying to make me
the whole day is just making Derek watch horror trailers, yeah.
You know, 'tis the season. Oh, look, it's a cult.
Yeah, I think that's the basis of Resident Evil 4.
Okay, I never played any Resident Evil ever.
So I think what happens is like the daughter of the president went missing, and Leon tracked her down to this village where basically it's ran by like this cult that you can kind of see.
Okay.
Ashley, I think, is the president's daughter, and yeah, and it turns out that this entire village are infected by some kind of a, G virus variant.
Yeah.
So they're practically zombies, but they also maintain some level of intelligence that they haven't seen before in previous zombie games. So, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's the president's daughter. Hello, Ada.
What are you doing here?
This looks pretty good for a.
It looks freaking amazing.
For like a they call it a remake. Yeah, it's definitely a remake.
We just need Ashley to not suck in this game.
Did she suck in the last one? No comment. Okay. We shall see.
Yeah. Ask anyone who's played the previous game. She's not well liked.
Oh.
Help, Leon, help! Help! Leon, help me! Help! Help, Leon, help!
Man, that is
For
an
like
annoying sounding
5
trailer.
hours. Oh, sorry, that wasn't part of the trailer. That was just me.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Well, at least we know that's par for the course.
Yeah. So hopefully that is no longer going to be the case. I really hope that Capcom heard all of us and just please make her not annoying this time. But anyways, yeah. So the game is slated for a March 24th release next year. In addition to PS5, Xbox Series X, and PC, Capcom has announced that this game will also be coming to Xbox Series S and PlayStation 4. I think that's probably the more important part. Yeah. With the PS4 having the ability to upgrade to the PS5 version for free,
Nice.
which is a lot. Like, yeah, this is
that's awesome.
Yeah, a lot of companies are doing that, and I think it's really pro-consumer, but also worry that they might not get like the PS5 sales that they want. So yeah, I wonder how that's gonna play out. But I commend them for doing the right thing though.
It's a sales point. I commend them because it's a sales point that like helps them move product. Maybe not PS5s.
Yeah,
but that's okay. That's not their business. Because here's the other thing is like it's easier now to get a PS5 than it was. It's still not that easy. Like I'm a very opportunistic buyer of consoles, I've realized, which means like I buy my consoles from pawn shops mostly, or at least that's been like the times when I have gotten them. The only game console that I bought brand new in recent memory was a Nintendo Switch around launch. Before that,
wow, you beat me to it. I didn't even get the Switch until the Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu came out.
Yeah. I mean, the Switch has been a fantastic console for me. I'm glad that I did, but yeah, it's just it's just I'm a buyer of consoles opportunistically. I'm a value seeker. I got my PS4 from a pawn shop. I got my PS3 used from a God, was it like a Hastings that had been renting it out to other people? Like it was a rental shop that was like, oh yeah, we have this spare. Like I got a Wii, an original Wii the same way a long time back. Like it was. I'm not like the kind of person who buys brand new consoles easily. And if I wanted to buy a PS5, I'll probably buy a brand new one. But when I do, it's probably going to be like when I happen to see one in a store on a shelf for like a pretty good deal, and I happen to have enough money in the bank to cover it. Like it's just that the stars have to align.
Yeah, there just aren't enough value proposition to get a PS5, and that's the reason why I'm just like, man, Sony, I don't know what you're gonna do because like
the PS5 for me will
not
100% just be a better PS4 for a while for me.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is for a lot of people. They'll play PS4 games on it, and there just aren't enough PS5 exclusives to like warrant a PS5.
Yeah. So I'm just going to start racking up games that have the free upgrade, and hopefully at some point, when I get one, I'll be like, oh, cool, I have this little collection available, but that is not this day.
Yeah. I've had a PS5. It's been sitting here. I haven't even really done anything with it. I played 2 games on it. I've done 2 streams. One was the charity stream, and I did it for a single day.
Oh, that was Demon Souls, right?
No, that was Elden Ring.
You're close. Elden Ring. Okay.
Yeah, Elden Ring. And then the other one is now I'm playing what is it called? Ghostwire Tokyo, which is on the PS5 and PC. So now I'm finally busting out the PS5 that's just been sitting here collecting dust all these months.
Wow.
So no, that there just aren't enough games that I can't play on my PS4 that I would care about. So, but I think now that they have the 1440p update, I think maybe it helps a little bit. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I think there are going to be more games now that will come on PC, PS5, Xbox X exclusive now, like Wolong. I think is Wolong looks amazing. By the way, it's from Team Ninja, right?
Yep.
So that's another one for people.
TGS showed us a lot of games to look forward to.
Oh yeah. Oh man, that was a nightmare to write. It took 15 hours. Anyways, so Resident Evil 4 is coming out. Let's see, again on March 24th. Pre-order is now open for the standard, deluxe, and collector's edition. The collector's edition will include the game, steel case, a digital soundtrack and art book, a DLC pack with costumes and in-game soundtrack swap, which actually sounds kind of cool. You can swap to like original like Resident Evil 4 soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
And also a Leon Kennedy figure holding a shotgun, if that's what you're into. Yeah, so kind of cool. I'm always happy to see like limited editions that aren't just like your typical stuff. Like having a figure that comes along with it, I'm all for it. It actually looks pretty good. In fact, you know what? Can we take a look at it really quick? Do I have my window up? I don't.
Oh yeah.
Window up.
Oh, let me know when your window's up, and I'll.
Hold on 1 second. I need it.
Okay.
Excuse me for just a second. I accidentally used the window for something else. Hang on.
Gotta close all the waifu tabs out, guys.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Sorry, I'm always looking at waifus, even though I am.
Even though you've only got one.
Shh! Don't give it away.
All right. To find out who Baku's waifu is, make sure you follow him on twitch.tv/Bakusan JRPG.
Yes.
Links in the description down below.
If you come to my Twitch, you will see who my waifu is for sure. Let's see here. There we go. Yeah. So I got it up now, I think. Do I have it up?
All right. Let me check.
Yes, I do.
All right. There it is.
So there you go. This is the.
Can you zoom in?
Increase the size. Yeah.
Thank you.
So this is the Resident Evil 4 Collector's Edition. Again, you've got the steelbook. Oh, you got this map thing. I don't know what this map's about, but this map poster.
Mhm.
Okay. And then you have this is the statue that I was talking about, the figure that I was talking about. So hey, if you're into collecting these items, if you're a Resident Evil fan, like I'm pretty sure you're not going to want to miss out on this.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm personally not big enough of a fan to get it, but I know that there are fans out there. So if you're one of those people, definitely don't miss out on this. All right. So
It'd be nice if more collector's editions of JRPGs came with figures.
Figures.
Nice.
What was the last time that has happened?
I've never gotten one that did.
Now I'm trying to think. Like, was there? Yeah, I gotta think about this. I don't think I remember seeing one, but I'm gonna think about this. Anyways,
JRPG fans know, or makers know, that they'll just buy them separate.
Oh yeah, we'll buy like the expensive figure for the. I'm like, are there games that come with like a figure for limited edition for like RPGs? I mean, there's the recent like One Piece one, but I don't think that counts. Oh, Tales of Arise, yeah.
Oh.
Tales of Arise does, yeah. The one, but it was like a bust up like statue kind of figure, not like a full body figure.
Hey, a statue, I think that counts though.
Yeah, it counts. It definitely counts. Thank you so much for pointing that out. Okay, so moving on to more horror games, because we all know Derek loves horror games.
Thank you, Baku, by the way, for volunteering for. I mean,
yeah.
I wouldn't call it volunteering. I volunteered out of them, so so Baku's gonna cover a bunch of horror for us.
All right. We all know Derek loves horror games, so we're going to talk about it. So, some time ago, we talked about an interview with the French filmmaker Christophe Gans, who talked about Konami engaging in not one, but multiple projects involving the Silent Hill series. Remember that, Derek?
Yeah.
Yeah, and at that time we had some revelations about, but not reservations.
Yeah.
About the filmmaker's claims.
Like, who is this guy? Who's
like,
this
who
freaking
is
guy?
This guy?
This freaking guy just coming out here says he's somebody. I'm like, I don't think he's nobody.
Yeah, and we looked it up, right? Like, this guy made the original Silent Hill films 15 years ago. He
I know.
Like,
the heck is he
what
involved
have you done?
with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you even done lately?
It's
You know?
sus. Exactly.
Some random dude. So which is like, yeah, he's probably like C9 or something. I don't know. Like,
Yeah, crazy. He's crazy.
He's crazy, I tell you. Anyways, we now know that the directors definitely jumped the gun on these announcements, as Konami would officially reveal all the new Silent Hill projects it is working on during the Silent Hill transmission broadcast. And boy, there were a lot of things that they announced. Oh my god. Woo. Okay. So we're going to talk about all the items that they talk about, starting with Return to Silent Hill. The one project that wouldn't really be a game. So yes, I know this is like the new games announcements section, but this won't be a game, but I just don't feel like putting this to like a later section.
Sure.
This film is called Return to Silent Hill, which takes inspiration from Silent Hill 2. The aforementioned potentially senile but totally not Christoph Gans will actually return to direct this new film. So yeah, not like a weird nobody like has been dude. Like he's directing this new film. So okay, you know, apologies to Mr. Gans. Like we completely did not take his words for it, but he was like absolutely true. There are multiple projects,
and we're just like, whatever. What do you know?
He's absolutely involved.
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Crazy
Christoph.
old man.
Yeah. No, he's right on the money, and he is absolutely involved. So let's take a look at this new project. It's like a 6-minute thing, so we don't have to watch the whole thing.
Much
we're not going to watch the whole thing.
I mean, this is probably going to DMCA us.
We'll just watch a little bit. Return to Silent Hill.
All right.
This return is my return to a world.
Is Mr.
Is that him?
Mr. Christoph? Yeah, that's him.
He's the guy. Yeah, looking back, I think it was a good call for us not to trust him.
Yeah.
Just look at him. I wouldn't trust him.
Wow.
Silly French director.
Silly French. Wow.
Just casually dropping huge bombs before an event.
No, seriously. No, he dropped all these info before Konami even announced the transmission.
Exactly.
It was like a week or two before.
See,
even the announcement.
I didn't think. Okay, I'm not gonna make that stupid joke. Actually, never mind. Okay, so yeah, that's the guy who just totally just like, man.
Yeah, totally dropped these bombs on us, and he was like, "Oh yeah, Konami is working on multiple projects."
Don't you guys know about this? Don't you guys know about this secret project we've been working on? There's like 17 things that we're all like in the air right now.
Okay, I think we're good here.
Okay,
yeah, just know that this is a thing. Okay, we're not going to delve too much into it. It is in very early stages. There are no release dates, but as soon as there are more substantial information, we'll talk about it again. Next up, the big thing that everyone went crazy over, this Silent Hill 2 remake. Not Silent Hill 1 remake, which a lot of fans have asked about. Like, why are you doing Silent Hill 2 remake? What happened to Silent Hill 1 remake? I have no answer to that, actually. You got to ask Konami. But regardless, it is Silent Hill 2 remake. So Konami has confirmed all the fans' suspicion that they will remake the second game. And here's the trailer for that. It actually looks amazing. Like, just wow. I can't wait. Cockroach.
Tasty. actually not very familiar with the Silent Hill series as a whole. Like I know
neither.
I think I know one of the twists, but
yeah, a lot of people ask me about the Silent Hill series, especially now that I'm doing Spooktober. They're like, "Oh, have you ever played the Silent Hill series?" The answer is no. I've actually never played the Silent Hill series, and the reason is because when Silent Hill came out, I didn't have access to the games. It's the same story again, and by the time I could get the games, it's like years and years and years later, and I just didn't feel like going back to like older games to replay them because I had plenty of new games to deal with.
I do know the Silent Hills games though, or Silent Hill games rather, have really garnered a huge fan base.
Mm-hmm.
Silent Hill.
Oh,
also from what I understand, the first Silent Hill movie was actually a huge like critical success, I think.
Oh, okay.
From what I've read, at least among the fans. I don't know if it's like what's the word, commercial success, but at least among the fans, like, you know, it was well received.
Is this the one with Pyramid Head? Do you know?
Yes.
Okay,
absolutely.
that's probably why they remade this one, because Pyramid Head is like super iconic as a character.
And the bobblehead nurse.
I don't know about that.
I'm like, look, listen, Konami has no right to have a game look this good.
Truly,
okay, Konami, you have
really
no
good.
right to make a game look this good. Get out of here, Konami. Get out of here.
That does look ridiculous. Ridiculously good.
Yeah, apparently Konami's back in the game making business. Who knew?
Yeah, and that's it's kind of why I titled it this way. I'm feeling a little like opposite day.
Yeah, seriously.
Surprise, mother.
We have kids watching this. We've been over this.
That's why I stopped. I didn't say the full thing. I didn't say surprise, mother.
Okay, so I did say game making business, but what I really should be saying is maybe Konami's back in the game publishing business. We'll talk a little bit about that after all the announcements. So the game is currently being developed by Polish game developer Blooper Team, probably best known for Layers of Fear. So definitely not like an unknown group of folks. Yeah, Layers of Fear. The game will be available on PS5 and PC. PlayStation will have console exclusivity at least for 12 months. There is no release window announced as of right now. So, you know, it's 2023, 2024, maybe, who knows? So that's like the big title that like everyone's talking about.
Yeah.
But there are actually 3 additional games that they talked about. Yeah, I know. Like, what? You thought Silent Hill 2 remake and the movie, that was it? No, they talked about 3 other games on the pipeline. Okay, so the first one is called Silent Hill Townfall. In addition to the film, the remake, Konami revealed 3 new titles in the works. The first is Townfall, which is being developed by Annapurna. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing their name. Annapurna. If this company sounds familiar to you, it's because they're the ones behind the game Stray that came out recently.
That indie?
Stray, yeah.
Yeah, that was an indie
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's them. And Annapurna.
They hired it out to this like indie dev that like made Stray. Okay.
Yes, Annapurna, and also being co-developed by No Code Studio, who of the Observation and Stories Untold fame.
Okay.
So again, not ginormous studio, but definitely like well-respected, you know, well-respected teams. Yeah. Okay, so let's take a look at the Townfall trailer.
Kind of feels like Konami should have had like a Konami Direct.
that's what that transmission is about.
Yeah, except it didn't have any of the Suikoden stuff.
Sorry.
Like they could have. Could you imagine?
That would have been crazy.
We are stuck here in this place, being judged by these people. But for you, I think it's more than that.
You know, this does remind me a little bit of.
Some other reason. And I don't want to be anywhere near you when you figure that out.
Oh man.
Silent Hill Townfall. Okay. As you can see, this game is, let's just say that it is in early development.
Yeah, it's a teaser for sure. Definitely a teaser, not a trailer.
I don't know what else to say about it.
I mean, it caught my interest. It caught my attention.
Yeah.
Can I say, at least based on what I saw there, it looked like a piece of retro tech, like almost like a Game Boy or some sort of color TV from the 90s. I mean, there's something you could probably read into this, and it's maybe something a little bit old school, you know? Which is
there's a lot you can read into that one. I'm sure fans of the series will dissect it like soundbite by soundbite. It's like, oh, you know what they said? It's a reference of this and that. No Codes director John McKellen said that more info will be available in 2023. So please wait for more information.
All right.
The next title is called
just over 2 months to wait.
Yeah, just over 2 months, at least. Unless they lied and gave us more information like next week.
Maybe the director will give us more information next week.
Like, oops, I forgot about this.
Oops, all leaks.
Oops. No, you know, Mr. Gons is like, oh yeah, about Townfall. Let me tell you about that game. Oh man, okay, listen. So if you actually watch the entire trailer, teaser trailer for the Return to Silent Hill, which we haven't done, but if you get a chance to go back and watch it, like it's crazy how many times they repeat themselves on how much like he's a gamer, that he respects the original work, that you know that he's gonna put in his own originality. It's almost like they acknowledge the problem with live action films a little too hard for like a solid like 2 minutes out of that 6 minute like teaser
he basically
trailer.
gave his gamer card credentials, basically, right?
Yeah, he was like, oh yeah, I definitely respect the original work with the creativity, and I respect the original work, and it's important that we respect the original work, like probably like 10, 20 times. But also like, but I also want to put in like my own vision as a filmmaker
while respecting the
respecting the original work. I love it. I'm like, I love how aware you are. So let's see if you do a good job. And according to some folks in there, this is not his first time. This is the second time in this rodeo. And the first movie was good. So, you know, I think
it looks like a lot of people loved it. So
yeah, he's at least proven himself there. So there's no reason to doubt him this moment. Now, what's funny also is that not funny, but what's I think pretty real point that he did bring up that I thought was a good thing to talk about again is he said, you know, so the real task in making this movie is for me to understand the elements that appeals to people in a video game and then translating that into a film that has to tell a story in 60 to 90 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Which really just lays out exactly why it's so hard to do like an action movie. Oh, no, not live action movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, no, absolutely. Like this is so he's so aware, like he knows, and he I think he just like lays it out really elegantly.
Good.
So
give it a full listen.
Yeah, I hope this movie comes out well. Absolutely. So, and I think if there's anyone who can do a good job, it might just be this guy. All right. So the second game that we should talk about is called Silent Hill Ascension.
Okay.
Okay. So this new title, Silent Hill Ascension, has been described as a title with community, live storytelling, and interactive mechanics.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay, that's
interactive
what
mechanics sounds like a video game of some sort. Or well, okay.
It's supposed to be a game, but okay. But let's continue.
Yeah.
This game will be produced by not one, not two, but 4 studios collaborating at the same time. We've got a studio called Genvid or Genvid, GNVID. I don't know how to pronounce it. Probably Genvid.
Sure.
And then there is the second studio is called Bad Robot Games, which actually is J.J. Abrams' like game studio. I didn't even know he had a game studio. Yeah, apparently J.J. Abrams has a game studio. It's called Bad Robot Games. And then the third studio is Behavior Studios, which actually it's the studio behind Dead by Daylight, another well received game in the horror genre, especially. And the last studio is called DJ2, which I couldn't really find anything particular on them, so they're probably the less like famous of them bunch.
Sure.
So these 4 studios will be collaborating to produce this project called Silent Hill Ascension. It's been touted as a game where fans can watch a story unfold, interact as a community, and change the story permanently.
Interesting. Like, is this...
How would this play out? I have no idea. But we can take a look at the trailer.
Okay.
Okay.
It sounds...
I know.
This sounds kind of avant-garde, like they're taking chances here, which is...
Yeah, I am extremely confused by this too. So it's kind of like it's like simulating all these people talking, I guess, like online.
Yeah. Is this going to be like a Twitch game where the chat plays, kind of like Twitch plays Pokemon?
I don't know. I don't know how this will work. Can we save her? I don't know. Can you? Can you save her?
Okay, this sounds like an interesting project.
Yes. There you go. Here are all the companies involved, all the studios involved.
Live
in 2023. Yeah,
2023.
So,
okay, so yeah, that seems like it's going to be kind of like a live video feed of the game playing, and I think chat will control it somehow.
Yeah,
kind of like,
I don't know,
kind of like a communal heavy rain, maybe. Or something like that. I'm curious.
Yeah, I'm curious about that too. I just want to I want to see how this will work out. Now, if you're interested in wanting to find out more like we are, you can actually go to their website, links in the description below later, to sign up for more information. And this game is actually going to go live next year at some point. So not too much of a wait, I think. And yeah, definitely interested in seeing how they will do this, because I'm like, what? I still don't know what this game's about. But
it looks like an avant-garde kind of project, and it seems like it could be something really interesting.
Yeah. I'm all for it personally, because I think you've got the main game like Silent Hill 2 remake that they're not fudging, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is a first person experience, like no live service nonsense. This is it right here. And then then you have this, which is like, okay, well, let's just take this IP and see what we can do with this, see if we can do something interesting. I'm all for it. Let's see what they come up with. So that is Silent Hill Ascension. Last but not least, we have this one last title, and this game is called Silent Hill F. It is the last game to be revealed during the transmission.
Mhm.
And this game is going to be set in Japan in the 1960s. And it is written by Ryukishi 07, which is the author of the Higurashi series.
Oh.
Yeah. When they cry series.
Yeah.
So he's involved in writing the story for this. The Taiwan-based developer NeoBards Entertainment will develop the game, and Motoi Okamoto will be returning as the producer. So but we do have a trailer for this game. But before we show the trailer, just want to give you guys a heads up. A trigger warning for people with trypophobia. Yes, trypophobia. Yes. So if
Okay.
you have trypophobia, just like you've been warned
If you're
about this
skeeved out by
trailer.
like holes in skin and stuff, is that it?
Yeah, that thing. So yes.
Okay.
Let's take a look at it.
Good thing I don't have that.
I don't have that either, but heads up to people who does.
My wife does. She hates
It's a
it.
2-minute trailer, so come back in 2 minutes.
Yeah. It's not actual gameplay footage. It
Yeah,
says.
so look at it. Look at the setting. It's like completely different from your typical like Silent Hill, because the typical Silent Hill is like a Western setting, right? So
Yeah.
this is definitely something different. Again, this takes place in the 1960s in Japan.
Just like 10 years after the end of like, World War II. So this is going to be
yes.
Interesting. I haven't really seen too much of like post-war Japan representation.
Yeah. The reconstruction, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ew.
Yeah, I think this is like a different kind of like horror. It's like eerie. It's not like gore.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yep. That's the.
Yeah,
that's
there
the
you
phobia
go.
there.
That's what I had to warn. That was the only scene. Like that
Okay.
small part right there was the only thing.
I mean, it's a lot. So.
Yeah.
God. Yeah, Silent Hill in general is kind of like that. As I understand it, the horror aspect is much more of a psychological horror.
Yeah. It's haunted many a people in their childhoods. Yeah, so this is definitely going to be like a different vibe to what we're used to for Silent Hill.
Yeah.
So I'm actually extremely excited for this, because this is going to be a completely different take compared to. So yeah, these multiple projects all sound very interesting, and I can't wait to see more information. Of course, this game is in early development, as you will see, and no additional information has been provided. So to sum up, yes, there are Mr. Christoph Gans was right from the get-go that there are multiple Silent Hill projects, and we were, although I don't regret being skeptical. He was absolutely on the money. Which makes me wonder.
He was totally right.
Yeah.
He probably wishes that he held his tongue, but you know.
It makes me wonder if he violated any like NDA for talking about
I
that.
wonder. I don't know.
The second takeaway from this is, yes, Konami is back, whether you like it or not, but with a caveat, and that is, if you will notice, Konami is not developing any of these games.
Mm-hmm.
They are taking the more like Square Enix recent approach, and that is, here's our IP, here's some money, do what we don't have the passion to do anymore, which I'm not against.
Yeah.
If your company just don't have the passion to develop games anymore, but you have all these IP and money, and you can just subcontract out to, frankly, teams who still have passions in making games, okay.
Yeah. I mean,
as long as you make good results. Right?
That's the truth. Like it's sad to think about it in those terms, but if that's what it is, like, you don't have to be the smartest person in the room. you just have to be in the room with the smart people, right?
Yeah, basically that. Yeah,
So-
Square Enix has recently taken that approach. Not completely. They still definitely still make some games in house, like
Sure.
all the what is it called? What's that team that makes like Bravely Default? Like that's still an in.
I don't know what
team.
they're called at this point.
Yeah, I forgot which team they're like team something, but whatever. Like the Bravely Default team, but they also do outsource a good amount of games. Like Star Ocean has traditionally been outsourced, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that
Team Asano.
Team
someone
Asano,
says?
there you go. Yeah, so there you go. But yeah, you will notice that none of these games are being developed in house by Konami, and quite honestly, if that's what it takes to get these good titles, okay,
Might be
yeah.
for the better. Yeah.
Suikoden, you want to outsource Suikoden, do it.
Yeah. Outsource it to Rabbit and Bear Studios. Do it. No nuts. Do it.
I wonder if they would take that on.
I don't know. Could be pretty cool. I don't know if they would, but I mean, I don't know if Konami would, because they've been a spiteful company in the past. There might be some of that still lingering, but maybe not. Who
Yeah,
knows?
that's all I'm like,
I mean, I don't think that they're going to outsource another Metal Gear to like Kojima Productions or something, right?
Oh
let's
boy.
be real.
Okay,
that's a
we
bridge
say
too
we
far.
say never, but
Yeah. All right. Well,
anyways,
guys,
that concludes my torturing of Derek with horror games.
we made it. We made it to the end of all the horror games, so now we can talk about RPGs again.
Yes.
So thank you, Baku, for taking on that marathon so that I could take on this one. Starting
go.
with Trails to Azure, which has been finally announced as getting a release date. NISA announced that the game will be coming to the West on different dates for different areas. So starting with 3.14, good old Pi Day, March 14th for North America, and then on the 17th of March for Europe, and the 24th of March for Australia, and for all the Kiwis in New Zealand. And we have a trailer for it.
Let's take a look at that trailer.
I don't know if I should. I was thinking about this before. Right now, there's a lot of people out there playing through Trails from Zero at this point. I'm just gonna say, if anybody here is watching Trails or playing through Trails from Zero, don't watch this trailer, because
Come back in 2 minutes.
Yeah, give it 2 minutes, because
Give us 2 minutes.
most likely at this point you will have enough context for this to actually be spoilery.
Yes.
Okay. So everybody else who has no idea, stick around, watch the trailer, because it's going to be kind of pretty. But if you're playing Zero right now, avert your eyes and well, I was going to say and your ears, but
just go use the bathroom
it's Japanese
for 2
audio.
minutes.
No, unless if you speak Japanese, then all right. Let's watch this trailer. Okay, you've been warned.
You've been warned. We're still gonna get comments later on about this. Someone's gonna type in the comments like, spoilers!
Well, maybe. That's all right. Oh man.
Pretty.
Oh, it's a very beautiful game. I miss video games of this graphical style with the 3D plane and the sprite-based characters. Kind of reminds me a little bit of
Crossbelt Independence.
Whoa, that's zoomed in.
What?
Kind of reminds me a little bit
zoomed
of what'd you say?
What?
I don't
Nothing.
know. Okay.
Yes.
Anyways, kind of reminds me a little bit of like Grandia, but with a more modern aesthetic.
Oh.
Or even like Super Mario RPG, because the characters, I believe these sprites, I believe that they were actually 3D polygons that were pre-rendered into sprites.
Huh. I wouldn't be surprised.
But yeah, some of the
Because that way when they turn, like, they can just get like one, like, consistent sprite.
from all four angles.
From all the angles, yeah.
All right. Well, that wasn't so bad on the spoilery side of things.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. People, stop overreacting.
Well, I mean, I was the one who was cautious there.
As you should.
Now, the limited edition has long been sold out.
Yes.
I happened to get my hands on a copy. I mean, ordered anyways. We'll see if it arrives. But you can still pre-order the standard edition of the game. And who knows, maybe if NISA sends me another limited edition, maybe I'll have another giveaway, because that would be pretty dang sweet.
Definitely giveaway.
Now, here's some of the bigger news, because we already knew that was coming. We just didn't know when.
Yes.
NISA also has confirmed that Trails into Reverie is coming out next year, including a PlayStation 5 version of the game. The game serves as the conclusion to the story of Lloyd Banning's Crossbell arc, as well as the conclusion of Reen, I don't know who that is, Schwarzer's Erebonian arc. I don't know who that is. And the beginning of the Kuro no Kiseki games. And there is a trailer for this as well. And I don't know if this is going to be spoilery or not. But I'm gonna watch it anyway.
Yes. Let's say it's what? How long is this one?
I don't know. Let's see. Is it like
2 minutes and 30 seconds?
Yep, 2 minutes 30 seconds. So
this appears again for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. If you don't want to be spoiled about anything related to Trails into Reverie, because who knows if it's a spoiler to you.
All right, let's watch.
I think this is the opening. This is the opening movie, by the way. So
it's. I think is this okay? Because I saw a trailer that had more than just an opening trailer, I think. Oh, no. This is probably what I saw.
Yeah, this is the opening movie. So this is
why I need to play through. This is why I need to play through Cold Steel.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is what's got me feeling the pressure, because it'd be really awesome to play this when it comes out. I'm a big fan of Lloyd Banning's at this point, having played through the Crossbell arc.
Yeah, I'm still told all the time that the Crossbell arc is just the best.
I mean,
and I'm like, I'm ready for it. You know,
yeah.
If the if the PlayStation 4 version wasn't so like blah, because
it's not blah. It's still a fantastic way to play it. It's just not as Incredibles. You know.
No, you're gonna charge me the same price. It comes at the same time. You better give me like the right quality.
Okay,
you know,
that's fair. And I understand why they did it. Some people are just kind of livid about it, and I kind of understand that. But like this, like the PS4 version is just a port of what was already released in Japan, and Falcom was just like, yeah, just do that. And then they're like, well, we also want to put it on PC and Switch, and they're like, okay, you go ahead and do that.
Yeah,
like,
at the minimum, they should have like
version.
outlined the difference, you know?
Yeah.
If they just say like, oh, by the way, here's the difference between versions, cool. You put it like out in the open from the get-go, then you make a decision what you get. I think that's fair, right? But not saying anything and then just make me have to return the crap later, not cool. Not cool, NISA. Not cool for not being upfront.
I think they were upfront about it though. Or at least Durant was upfront about it.
No, it wasn't until later on that they released those information. Yeah. Like on the what's the word? On the oh, it's just so weird. They had like a Japanese like opening song, then English came out. Like it just threw me off for a second.
I know.
Yeah, no, and when they first announced the game, they definitely didn't say anything about it. It wasn't until later on that they had these like blog posts too. And when publications start asking them, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, there are differences. Like what? You knew this. Anyways.
So the PC is coming out in summer 2023 for PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch, and for PC. Now, limited edition pre-orders are available on the NISA store. Dang it, I need to do that. It will come with a steelbook case, Legend of Zemuria hardcover art book, the Songs of Reverie soundtrack, an acrylic print, and 3 miniature plushies of Lloyd, Reen, and a new character with the name C. Comes with a removable mask. So pretty neat. And
Yes.
NISA, I gotta say, they nailed it with the collector's edition of Azure, or Zero rather. So I'm hoping to see them continue to nail it with these upcoming releases. So it's awesome to see that this is coming out in summer of 2023. So it's coming out just a few months after Azure, you know. So Azure's coming out in March. This one's coming out in summer. Play them, get them.
You know,
it's gonna be great.
What's funny is like when you go over to the Reverie limited edition site where you go to order it, you scroll down, it actually to look at the plushies. What they did is like they turned the plushies around and then like took off the mask, so like you couldn't see like the face of the person. And I was like, OMG.
Nice. That's
it's
so
cute.
Cool.
It was cute. Yeah. They're like, oh no, you don't get to see the spoilers. So don't worry. You will see the mask off, but you won't see who C is. So don't worry about that as far as like spoilers. You can safely order your limited edition without being spoiled there.
All right. So next up, we got some more news from Falcom. So fans of Ys, worry not, because we've got news for you guys as well. So regarding the PlayStation 5 native version of Ys 8, NISA have announced that the DLCs from all previous versions of the game will be included in the game for free, even including previously Japan-only content.
Yes.
Improvements from the Steam versions, such as enhanced draw distance, FPS, and better load times will also be implemented.
I'm excited.
In addition,
I got this one.
A digital download code for the Ys 8 Christmas of Donna album?
Yes.
Christmas
You read it right. You read it right.
of Donna album will be bound to all physical shipments.
Yeah, the digital code would be, yeah.
Okay. This is a 2 tracks Christmas themed album.
Yep. You read it right. Go on.
Am I squinting right? Okay. If I was like, did autocorrect take the wheel here? If you are curious about what they sound like, you can hear them on Spotify. There's
in the description later.
Yeah, we'll add a link later. Now, it's slated for a release on the 15th of November of 2022 for North America and the 18th of November of 2022 for Europe as well.
Yes, I got the limited edition for this one. I'm excited for this. Oh man, I sold my PS4 version and I waited for this. Ooh, dude, yes, I am so ready.
You couldn't wait for that Christmas of Donna soundtrack.
No, the Christmas of Donna was what sold me. Actually, no, I just found out today that that's a thing that's like.
Donna,
I'm like, what is this? I did a double take when I was writing the docket. I'm like, what? Christmas? So I clicked on the Spotify link.
Yeah,
and I saw it and I'm like, oh my god, this is a real thing. So there you go, a 2 tracks soundtrack called Ys 8 Christmas of Dawn.
Sweet. So we also have a little bit more Falcom news for us Ys fans, and one last piece of Falcom news that actually involves Ys 9, which is also getting its own native PS5 release. Although all previous releases released cosmetic DLCs will be included in this version, there will not be any new features. And we do have a trailer for it as well, if you'd like to take a look at that. All right. PS5 trailer is a go.
PS5 trailer is a go. I'm sorry, I'm just forever going to be a bigger Ys fan than Trails fan. It's just because I grew up with Ys.
I understand.
That's just part
you don't
of
have to pick one.
Change.
You don't have to pick one.
Sorry, only one will reign supreme, and it's gonna be Ys. Doesn't mean I don't like Trails, but boy, like, am I ever going to be more excited about Ys? You bet. Like. which I'm still making my way towards completing. I'm still stuck in Celceta right now.
Mm.
And then after Celceta, I need to play East 8, which I'm waiting for.
You haven't played
and
East
then
8
East
yet?
9. Huh?
That's surprising that you haven't played 8 yet.
I was playing in order.
Okay.
Yeah, I was playing in order of like technology wise, like game technology wise, not like sequential order. I started with 1 and then I just like went down the list. And then like Celceta, which is actually the 4th title. That has actually been remade and there's like a PS4 version. And I'm like waiting to play that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so you can pre-order the standard and limited edition. They're both available on the NISA website right now. The collector's edition will feature a 1-disc original soundtrack, a hardcover art book, art cards, a 200-piece puzzle, and a prequel short novel called The Lost Sword. East 9 PlayStation 5 port will be coming in spring of 2023.
Yes. I'm actually kind of interested in like the prequel novel. I'm sure like fans are just like, you know, always looking for like little bits of things to like cling on to. I'm actually surprised that they haven't released any like prequel short novels to like the Trails games because oh man. That's an easy purchase for any Trails fan, I think. It's like what? There's a little bit more lore to the lores of the Trails. What?
Trails in the lore. That's
Trails.
All right. So I think that is the end of the new games, but we do have a smidgen, just an ounce of industry news to cover.
Tiny bit of industry news. It is small, but I debate if I want to put it in, but I'm kind of excited about it, so I'm gonna put that in there.
Sure.
So Square Enix had just trademarked the word Symbiogenesis in Japan.
Okay.
Symbiogenesis. Now,
not ringing anything for me.
This trademark, yeah, it's just probably doesn't mean much to us normal folks. The word means the merging of 2 separate organisms to form a single new organism. Yeah, it probably means absolutely nothing to most of us, except that is actually the basis to the story of Parasite Eve, which many fans have speculated will be coming up soon for a remake or remaster. You know, as Square Enix just kind of go through their like 2000s catalog of IPs to revamp. Like if you really think about like I think it makes logical sense. Like think about the games in the late 90s and early 2000s, right? How many of those have they already revamped? How many of those have they like remake or remastered already? There's only a handful of games from that era that has not gotten that treatment.
Yeah, maybe Parasite Eve, probably one of them. Vagrant Story, maybe another.
Yeah. So I think Parasite Eve being next on the docket is not far-fetched at all. And given how well received it's been like since the game like came out, I think if I was Square Enix, I would have probably already spent like a AAA budget remake for this game. Because I think this game would be something that would sell well to the West.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it was kind of made from the ground up to kind of scratch that itch, I feel like.
Yeah, I would definitely I would make a turn-based RPG with
especially
like
with survival
three-dimensional
horror
movements.
Especially with survival horror making waves like it is.
Yeah, have you played Resident Evil? Not Resident Evil. Have you played Parasite Eve before, Derek?
Not yet. I actually have a copy. I would like to play it. I'm thinking maybe around Christmas time.
So the battle system in Parasite Eve is like you're in this like small like plane, and like it's kind of top down. At least Parasite Eve like 1, the first game, is kind of like top down ish, and like you can move around. Well, not top down, but like it's a fixed angle, I should say, fixed angle, and then kind of like Resident Evil 1 and 2, and like where you can move around like a room, and then you know once the ATB fills, like you have like certain action you can take, and then like you can shoot the monster, or you can use like your psychic abilities. So it's definitely like a kind of a cool experimental turn-based kind of like game, and I really liked the battle system in Parasite Eve. I liked the story as well. The story was really good. I'm but if they could make like a high like a high like one with like great graphics and like on a 3D kind of plane,
I bet it could
like,
hold its own.
yeah, it's man, like I bet Square Enix can do it.
I'd be very interested to see that happen.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that about covers it for the industry news for the day. So let's switch gears a little bit here, and we can respond to some of the super chats that we've received throughout the evening. Thank you everybody for the super chats here. So
hello
from Francisco Lira, who says Shadow Drop equals no marketing. Seriously, the new The World Ends With You had almost no marketing budget since the beginning. This game just, thanks for bringing it up.
Yeah, no, it's such a shame, and I feel like they're doing it again.
Oh, wait. It says Square Enix hates this game. Sorry, I couldn't see that part. It says Square Enix hates this game. Thanks for bringing it up.
Yeah, no, it feels like they're doing it all over again with all these new games. Like there was like little to no coverage. It was maddening. Like Star Ocean, I'm just like, dude, Star Ocean deserves a lot more respect to this. Valkyrie Profile Series deserves more respect. Like any of these games should have been like the release of like the season kind of situation, but they just lumped it all together and just like, oh yeah, whatever. Here, have all the games. Like, what are you doing, Square Enix?
I mean, part of the issue I think is that with marketing, like there's a certain amount of attention that people have in general. And if you try to market everything out there and like put everything into the minds of people, like nothing will stick, right? Because at a certain point you're competing against yourself.
Well, I mean, that's exactly what they're doing. Not even competing for like memory space. They're literally cannibalizing themselves to release these like, 100+ hour RPGs within a span of like 3 months. Like, what are you doing? What in the heck are you doing, Square Enix?
Killing my wallet, man, is what they're doing.
Yeah, wow.
And then from Debris44, they say, what are some Suikoden / Wild Arms / Shadow Hearts era mechanics that I do not want to see in their spiritual successors? I don't know. That's a good question. Suikoden, were there any mechanics that I didn't love? I feel like there's an element of randomness that existed in some of the earlier games that existed as a way of like padding things out. To just they offered you so much opportunities to do so many things, but some of them just weren't all that rewarding. I would be happier with a narrowed focus sometimes on like, instead of giving us like 50 bleh mini games, how about just 1 or 2 like, good mini games, right? Like I could stand something like that. Like the whole in Suikoden, like building the base, love it. Doing the cooking things, was never a big fan of like that aspect of it, I never really tended the farm. I don't feel like I ever needed to, so some things it just felt like they were not my focus, but maybe other people loved those, and I don't know. So it would be nice to have that focused, narrowed down somewhat, I guess, in some ways. Shadow Hearts, the only thing I can think of that I wouldn't want it to really carry forward. I think again, there's probably some element of randomness, but like, I don't know. I'm kind of happy with it. Like they could just make straight up follow-ups and I'd be totally fine.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember like anything bad in particular from those games.
Wild Arms 2, where you had to go around the map and then you had to locate the cities by like pushing a button that would send out like a radar signal.
Oh yeah,
that sucked. Let's not ever do that.
Let's never do that again.
Yeah. How about just give me a map with locations? I'd be good with that.
Yeah, I typically remember games for like what I liked about them versus what I don't like about them. So like, and boy, if I remember you for things I don't like, it really sticks out. But like little mechanics that are just like minor annoyance. Here's the problem, right? It's probably there's just probably so many of them that you don't remember any particular thing, but like they totally add up to like sour the experience. And like if you want me to just list one or two, I just can't remember. Let me play the game again, and now sit there and be like, oh yeah, this thing don't ever come back. This other thing, yeah, I don't need it.
Liz and Ard from Wild Arms 2. They could both never show up again, and I'd be happy.
You really don't like them?
yeah. Liz and Ard. Screw them in particular. They were like a comedic duo, and I use the word comedic very generously here. But basically, they were incomprehensible in the game, which was partially due to like a poor lackluster localization, but also just because they were, I think, supposed to be, I don't know what kind of comedic duo they were supposed to be. I don't get any of the humor. I don't get it. It's so bad.
Yeah, I guess part of the problem is humor is probably one of the hardest thing to translate to. Like jokes are extremely difficult to translate. Yeah. So I kind of get especially in the early 2000s, right? Like they haven't exactly gotten the science of localization down. I think if they were to do it again, they would do a much better job.
I'm sure of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a game that could use a relocalization, and that might ease the pain somewhat.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can't think of anything, but yeah, I mean, I do agree on the mini games though. Just like instead of give me 50 mini games, just give me like 5 really good ones.
Yeah, that's enough.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey guys, I do believe that wraps things up for us this evening. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us tonight. If you are new here and if you liked what you saw, be sure to like the podcast on any of your podcasting platforms of choice. And Baku, any final closing thoughts for the people?
Happy Halloween.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, we'll have one more episode before Halloween.
Oh, we do have one more episode before Halloween.
We'll be here on the 30th. Okay, so yeah. Happy fall, everybody.
Happy fall.
See you.
Goodbye.
There we go.